yeah.
All right,
It was
okay.
only the one time.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. Draft 1 then is underway.
There's absolutely no surprises. I feel like we already talked about it. Team Secret, they seem to play the style where it's kind of similar no matter what their drafts are. They can throw some weird stuff at you like the Chen or the Meepo, but for the most part, it feels like they kind of play next hero up. For example, for Misery, if it's not the Slardar, it's a Nyx Assassin. If it's not the Nyx Assassin, then you take the Magnus. And for Envy, if it's not the Ember Spirit, you take the AM. It feels like they just have a designated chain of authority where they just go from hero to hero if one gets banned out.
I think Vici actually has kind of the biggest overlap with the Western teams in terms of being able to play Slardar that we haven't really seen from CDC, LGD, so on and so forth. They also utilize a Doombringer very well, sometimes in the 4 position.
It is worth mentioning in that best of 5 that they played at Nunyon, they banned Slardar every game. I think maybe Secret banned it once or twice as well, but it was banned every game. Game 5, they actually gave it away because they were having trouble dealing with some of the other Secret picks, and the Slardar single-handedly, basically, I would say Misery won them the game. Not to say, as well as Pylai Die on the Bounty Hunter. So they're going to go back to kind of a safer approach here. They do ban the Slardar off the bat. They have first pick. Doom is out there. I don't know if Secret's that afraid of it, but we'll see, I guess.
I think it's a hero you generally just don't want to play against because of the ability for it to just take out one hero immediately in the fight. For Vici Gaming, though, I think the question now is whether or not you take the Tusk. It's a hero that
I don't think it's...
I think Tusk is, for China anyways, is pretty highly favored.
I think there's a lot of other better heroes out there. Darkseer, Wyvern, Ember.
It's not really as much of an opener for Vici as I would say like Ehome, for example.
Still a lot of first picks though, haven't we?
Yeah.
There's a Queen of Pain out there if they want to kind of play it safe. Burning has been playing that quite a bit with mixed results.
If you're Vici, though, you're not really that scared of Secret's Tusk. Last time I saw it played, it was by Pylai Die, and it wasn't spectacular. It got the job done, and they ended up winning, but it wasn't like 11's Tusk, let's say.
Darkseer is definitely a big hero for me in this series, especially with a lot of the other premier offlaners likely to get banned out off the bat. I don't know if they first overall pick it, though. The other big hero for Secret is always the Ancient Apparition, something that Puppy loves to run.
That's a hero, though, that's going to be relatively contested in this series, and they're willing to just pick it up first.
I mean, like Ben pointed out, they actually had a great performance from Super on the Ember Spirit, and this also kind of serves the additional benefit of you don't have to waste a ban on Ember, you just take it away from Envy. It's been one of his go-to heroes.
Yeah, and Secret were probably wondering that with their second ban. They're like, if we ban the Doom, are they actually going to take the Ember? And that was the gamble that I think they took with their reserve time, and they were kind of contemplating leaving both of them in, perhaps, too.
So how does Secret want to deal with the Ember? They can't go for the Weeha Shadow Fiend. Obviously, they do love Wind Ranger. That's something they often grab. They've been grabbing their cores more in Phase 1 than most other teams. But with the Ember picked, the Slardar unavailable, maybe they change it up here?
Maybe Night Stalker to deal with the Ember Spirit. We actually haven't seen Team Secret play versus Ember Spirit in quite a long time. I'm looking at their last 20 matches, and they gave away Ember early on in Nanyang versus LGD.
There's also like safe openings, like just Darkseer Wyvern, always a good solid combo. If they want to grab something to try and deal with Ember early, there's Disruptor, but most teams haven't really been rushing him.
I think the Dazzle is a pretty hot pickup too for Team Secret. It's a relatively safe opener. Puppy's been playing it a ton lately, but the Night Stalker I think it's so good right now. The ability for it to catch, you can run it as the offlaner or the support. It doesn't give away too much.
I think it's the best solution versus Ember Spirit that hasn't been banned out.
Yeah.
Slardar and Doom are pretty good. I also say Wind Ranger is really, really good versus him. But sometimes, I mean, Secret like to pick up their supports early. Dazzle, Bane, or Wind Ranger. I would not be surprised with any of those three.
Agreed.
Yeah, Bane's a hero that really disrupts the mid lane too. It kind of fits inside that Pylai Die philosophy where you're just going to go in the mid lane, try to give Weeha the biggest advantage possible, but...
So there's the Wind Ranger. So they want Darkseer for Ice Ice Ice. That Ember Darkseer combo can be really strong. I think it's been one of the most stable offlaners.
Queen's still available too.
That's true.
But I'm not sure.
How do you feel about Burning's Quap? Obviously, he has not performed like on the level CTY, though a few others have, but do you think it's strong enough to take Phase 1?
I kind of like it when he plays the more unusual heroes. I think he played Dusa early in this tournament, and they won in like 20 minutes. So I like it when they keep their options open for him. Even like the Burning Brewmaster has been a good pick for them.
So they get the Wyvern, that's a little more reliable lockdown, and in case that Wii Ranger does get out of control, which I feel like is every game, basically.
Yeah.
They have some way to deal with them.
It's one of the best counter initiators versus Wind Ranger, though, by far.
That's true.
I think if you went for the Queen of Pain here, you're gonna, if you don't win the early game, it's gonna get so rough for you against a Wind Ranger and a Night Stalker. These are two heroes with a minimal amount of farm that can pretty much solo kill you. even if you get something like the Orchid, which more or less all of the safe lane Queen of Pains are running, you're still so susceptible to just like one Shackle or one Silence and dying right after. But the Dazzle, yeah, you have to ban that. I think especially when you're playing against Puppy, because the way that he positions himself, the amount of Graves that he's able to get out in the course of one fight, unbelievable.
And Weave's really good against a farmed Ember as well, if you get it off at the right time.
So Secret, I think, probably have to ban Darkseer.
Unless they want to pick it, because they do have the first
Yeah.
pick out. This Nightstalker Darkseer is pretty strong. They don't often run that like aggressive dual lane the way like C-Deck or Eho might though. I don't know if it's as much their style.
And there's still Tusk. Oh, never mind. Tusk gone.
I don't know if you let it slip this far, even if you
What
don't
a
play
hero!
it.
I saw a 5th pick Tusk this tournament. That was a mistake.
That was a shame.
That was a mistake.
That also maintained its 100% record as well. 74 games in a row. Pick or ban.
I do like this a lot though. Banning out the anti-mage, they don't have the best solutions for them. Secret have shown a huge propensity toward this very split pushy, late game oriented style. Envy is a pretty versatile player, but take away the heroes that have been working best for them.
The Ember Spirit first pick just really did a lot for VG Gaming, though. With the Ember Spirit and the Anti-Mage already gone, the Magnus strategy kind of gone by the wayside. They don't have to ban out Meepo because Ember Spirit is one of the best counters, and
Wyvern's great as well.
yeah. And on top of that, there's not really that many counters to the Ember Spirit. However, there is still the Broodmother for Misery.
Oh, so they could ban Darkseer, just grab Brood right away.
I mean, there's also Brood for Ice as Ice too. So, but okay, okay.
Other way around.
There was a Brood. The spider has been squashed.
So now Darkseer, I think, is the next pick that
I think you kind of have to take it here. Do you think they can give it away, Will?
Possibly. You have a pretty aggressive lineup right now, and I think Vici Gaming would get Ember Spirit.
Radiant team pick.
Okay.
So no combo.
I mean, you don't want to play against it though. The Ion Shell plus the Flame Guard, I think it does way too much in the early game.
It's kind of the same idea as first picking the Ember for Vici, where it's somewhat a block pick, but it's also a hero that can work really well with their lineup.
Yeah, but now you see the Night Stalker kind of in the support role, definitely. So this, I think, leaves the Undying open to be able to pressure Envy. Vici really like that Undying +1 roam around.
Only 10 seconds.
Yeah, they do. They especially love it with the Alk, which I don't see them fitting in at this point.
They still have to pick another core, most likely an offlaner for Ice, but I think Vici can afford to wait a little bit on the offlaner because there's so many options open.
What do you think Burning's going to play? We've seen, I think Gyro's been one of his most stable, successful, like early game fighting carries. He has had some good games on Clinks.
I like Clinks a lot, but I don't know if they're going to pick up this early. Red Eye suggests Bane.
Red Eye suggests Bane. I think it's not bad.
Talk to us about Bane, Paul.
I hate getting involved in these. And it's always I always point to it on the screen or on a piece of paper, and then Ben throws me under the bus.
Well, you have to.
What a stupid idea! Right?
No, I mean, Bane's
Of course, it was going to be an AA.
very common pickup for Secret, but I mean, after you see the Juggernaut and the Winter Wyvern, Ancient Apparition is a natural pickup.
It's already a go-to for them. I mean, I mentioned it, even something I could see Secret taking phase 1 because of how well they use it, but it's just extra value to get it 4th pick. They are pretty heavily committed to heals already.
I think the last time I saw a Juggernaut against Team Secret, it actually won, if I remember correctly.
I think it got banned out.
Vici beat them with Jug in a 53-minute game.
Yeah.
But that was, I don't think it was really the Jug that game, if I recall. Oh, you know what it was? It was the game where they got an early, like Super got incredibly farmed on Alchemist and then fed the Jug in Ags, and then all of a sudden he just took over the game. So it wasn't just the Jug, I guess, in that case. The one thing with Vici is that once in a while they do run the offlane Juggernaut, in which case maybe they could pick a superhero still.
I don't think you can get away with it this game. It feels a little bit too greedy. I feel like you need a hero that can reliably initiate the fight.
So
Like
who
the
is
Ember
that?
Spirit's okay, but if he doesn't get a lot of farm, you want him to farm.
So who's left? There's Clockwork is kind of an obvious choice. Good against Wind Ranger, pretty good against Darkseer.
I think
Ice
Clock
is
is
very
really good.
comfortable on it.
Clock works really well if you're able to get any measure of farming and you're not just immediately sacked. And the way that Team Secret do it, I feel like you can get away with it.
Disruptor.
So this is
Dials back.
actually something I thought Secret might consider versus the Ember, but they do have okay lockdown for him.
So it looks like they want to concentrate on shutting down the Darkseer. Disruptor, I think, one of the best supports at actually killing a Darkseer in lane as well as zoning him out early. But I don't know, this kind of forces Secret to maybe run Darkseer and Night Stalker in the off lane.
You say that like it's a bad thing. They're a pretty strong
Yeah,
lane.
no, it's not a bad thing, but
It limits their laning options. That's true.
Darkseer is just not a hero though that you want to sack. You don't want him to get forced in the jungle too early.
Secret also just don't like sacking.
Yeah, not for Misery. I feel like they want to give him the best possible start.
Even
so
if
that
he's
he feels
something
useful.
like a Magnus, you know, he'll just stay there and try to get whatever he can.
Yeah.
They almost never abandon the offlane. That was kind of the obvious ban, I think, the clock. So well done by Secret. So what is Ice going to play if it's not the Juggernaut?
Maybe waiting to see how greedy they go on Envy.
Spirit Breaker?
I don't know.
You don't know yet. You have to wait to see what he does. Like they could go for like let's say a Spectre, right, with the Ancient Apparition plus Spectre, and then Night Stalker to kind of provide the map control. So it's, I mean, they're clearly somewhat scared of the split push already with the anti-mage ban.
That's true. Vici don't look like they're going to be able to put a ton of pressure on the Secret safe lane right now, so they could go for something greedier.
See Envy Necro. Got a Rada Vatos, get really tanky.
I do like Necro actually.
Get the Ags, win the game. the Ghetto Doom.
It honestly does. It always just feels like there's a timer. You hit 50 minutes, you have an Aghanim Scepter.
I remember watching one of those Monkey Business games back before they
Oh,
became
yeah.
OG.
I know
where
which game you're talking
They
about.
fed an Ags from the Alk to the Necro and then Necrolite and then just instantly won the game off of it.
I don't know how viable it is, this game.
So he's played Slardar, Darkseer, Tusk, Timbersaw,
There's still like
Morphling.
Gyrocopter, of course.
Please
too.
not Morphling.
I think Gyrocopter is like the safe pick here.
Hasn't played a Gyro.
Yeah.
At the
Oh, you're
Frankfurt
talking
Major.
about
I'm talking about Ice.
Yeah.
If you
Seconds to pick.
What else does Envy plays Clinks?
Envy has a pretty wide
5 seconds.
array of heroes, I feel.
Hurry.
I think he's pretty diverse as a carry.
It is the Spectre Ben. Good call.
Ben Wu.
So now I think it's kind of a good sign for them to start and pressure this lane. Undying would probably be my go-to if I don't have anything left, but
has played Undying, but not at this tournament.
It's kind of tough though. At that point, you've got 3 heroes that rely pretty heavily on heals against an AA.
But it doesn't matter. It's more about putting
it's,
pressure
yeah,
on
it's
the lane.
more about putting pressure on the Spectre. You might even consider just going aggressive with the Juggernaut and just having Ice go one-on-one in the safe lane.
I mean, Secret could look to dodge at that point.
He could
on
get
the
Tide.
Darkseer safe lane, so I
Tide.
think they have options even
Yeah,
now.
Tide's actually not that bad. Their high ground siege is very difficult though with the Ancient Apparition on the opposite team.
It's going to be that way, though, I think, when you have 2 melee cores, especially one like Ember.
Reserve
I think the
time.
Juggernaut has to be it.
10
Then you just go for a Roshan early and use that second Aegis. Oh! There's the Tide.
Okay. So
We did it,
Spectre
Ben.
and Tidehunter are the last 2
Joy
picks.
Dota sucks.
Teams. Commentators.
It's right today, but this best of 3 in my mind should be the closest of all of them. I'm Capitalist. I'm joined by Purge. You've seen the draft, Purge. What do you think? Who's going to be coming out in this game 1?
I'm not quite sure yet, but it's definitely an interesting draft. A couple of heroes that the teams haven't played much this tournament. We've seen a couple Tidehunter picks so far, but it's really rare. And Eternal Envy on Spectre as well, not something we've seen in a while. So less active of a carry as he normally gets. Obviously a lot of Ember games so far, but I think it'll be interesting. I assume he'll just go standard build, but he's got to really worry about that Juggernaut in the early game killing him.
Yeah, for me, the person to really look out for is going to be Weehaw's Wind Ranger. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to create enough space for Eternal Envy. Like, they've got to be able to both create space and set up kills for Eternal Envy to be a part of as that Spectre in order to kind of get the ball rolling for Vici before Vici Gaming hit their, like, kind of mid-game teamfight stride that they have so much of.
Yeah, and they don't even have the best setup either. It's pretty much going to come down to Blink's Shackles, and there's not really a lot of other options they can do just to initiate, other than maybe a Void. So if Vici Gaming gets something like a Force Staff, I think it'll really protect them against that setup that Secret's going for.
So maybe we're going to see like something when like the Disruptor try and pick up the Force Staff. If now, of course, if our Tidehunter gets a really good start, we may see a Blink Dagger and Force picked up rather early on him.
Also possible. The aggression is going to be really important, though. They have to delay this Radiance on the Spectre, because if they can, it's going to be a pretty straightforward game. I feel like Ember as well as Juggernaut are decent against Wind Ranger, and if they can get on top of her and Chainstunner, it should be a kill.
All right, now that the pause is finally out of the way, we can begin the Vici Gaming versus Team Secret best of 3 to determine who's going to be going up and to be one of the guaranteed top 3 teams. Both teams already starting off with early TPs. FY getting a nice aggressive rune ward up in order to perhaps challenge for that bounty rune in the top lane. Meanwhile, our Night Stalker has actually rotated all the way out to bottom lane and has gotten a ward to block out that pull camp.
It's pretty much the leftmost possible place that you can block, so we'll see if they're going to be able to deward that. Any sentries in the game yet? There's actually none, so that's kind of a big problem there for Vici Game. It is going to force one of the heroes to do a little bit of roaming. And considering it's a Darkseer off lane, they might also just double force the zone. Because Darkseer as an off lane hero takes a lot more hero resources to keep out of the lane since his Ion Shells push the wave up so much. But if they can keep him level 1, he's going to be a little weak and it may force him to go back in jungle. So, oh, I'm sorry, they do have a sentry ward here sitting on FY.
Yep, FY has
Fenrir now.
Is that ready to go?
Dewarding that's pretty important though, because they definitely do want fast level 6s on both Disruptor and Winter Wyvern if they can.
Oh, preemptive Ion Shell plus Chilling Touch. This is not a fight that Vici Gaming want to take. Secret pulling a lot of resources to the top lane. The battle through the bounty rune. Where's it going to go? Spectre picks it up, and that's going to be Team Secret starting off with 200 gold lead over Vici Gaming.
That's a pretty big advantage there. Spectre's gonna be happy about that. Can get a fast Ring of Basilius or something like that if he wants to. Doesn't really need his mana for now, but later it will help a bit. So.
Yeah, very nicely set up by Team Secret. They knew they had such an overwhelming advantage at that bottom lane with double Ion Shells plus Chilling Touch. And all the careers, that's going down. Fenrir finds that opening nice and early, and Weehaw is not going to be able to depend on that courier for the next 3 minutes.
He does get his salve, but man, that's something a lot of players don't do very much. The walking courier comes in, he just is in the area. Easy range extension by using Arctic Burn. He's able to get the 2 hits that it takes to get the kill. And he gets a D-ward at the top rune. This is so big for Fenrir. And he ate it with the Tango, which gives twice the HP that a normal Tango would.
So he's going to go right back up to full HP, and he's going to try and join Ice as the Tidehunter, who's actually bullying out Eternal Envy decently well, causing him to miss some CS thanks to that damage reduction. He brought a lot of extra HP regen coming into this lane, knowing that he was going to be taking a bit of harassment from the Ancient Apparition, but as long as he has, consistently eating those tangos and keeps his HP full up, he should never die to this lane.
Yeah, he should be just fine, especially when he starts getting Kraken Shell levels, because most of the damage that A does is from Chilling Touch, and that is magical, but it's still a lot of right-click damage coming out of that, so any more Krakens that Ice can get here is going to help extend his advantage in this lane.
Meanwhile, our bottom lane, you were talking about trying to zone out the Darkseer. Misery is actually just going to be doing full-time jungle and let Pylai Die take that bottom lane instead.
I like this a lot. Night Stalker's typically an off-lane hero. He can pressure the mid lane a little bit, but it's with a Wind Ranger, so there isn't really like a follow-up disable that you can land on Ember Spirit very reliably, so it's a lot easier if they just say, you know what, we're not probably going to get a kill mid, let's just min-max our gold gain and our experience gain. So Pylai Die will be a lot stronger than he normally is in a typical game due to his high roam potential, and Misery's just going to be slightly weaker than normal.
Weehaw getting out the double denies there in the middle lane, while Pylai Die just throws out a void on burning, something small. To build on that, I think it is very efficient of Team Secret, especially since they don't have a good hero to clear through stacks besides the Darkseer. So if he just jungles right away, bottom lane, we're going to have a fight over FY, but it looks like Pylai Die should be able to keep in range, and that is going to be your first blood. Misery picks it up with the Ion Shell.
What a sick little kill there. Damage done on burning as well. He does have spin though, so he can stop the Ion Shell damage temporarily. And that's just some really good harass. And that's the efficiency of the...
Look at top lane. Eternal Envy is trying to get it away to the trees. Just barely gets through. Ice wants to eat through those trees and get another anchor smash. But Eternal Envy does get away to safety and will start hatcheting down those trees in order to get out. But still, the fact that they just put so much pressure on the Spectre looks like this is going to force her back to base, possibly.
Yeah, and the worst thing about this is that the courier just respawns, so he needs to immediately get the bottle mid, and because of that, he can't even ferry himself regen. So they've got the backup there, and the pressure is absolutely working.
Middle lane, though, Wind Ranger has been doing quite well for herself. Seen quite a number of denies coming out from Weehaw. 15 and 9 already, and has been threatening Super quite a bit, as you can see. That was a bad time. Oh, looking in like they're going to go for this dive here. Puppey not really going to be saved by anybody. That Orb of Venom is doing so much work, and Puppey will end up going down here as the ticks continue. Vici Gaming hitting strong so far. Just challenging that Eternal Envy Spectre for all it's worth.
It's very cool that Vici Gaming has the knowledge to say, you know, we don't need an Undying to pressure a Spectre. Let's just use a tanky hero that's able to just withstand the right clicks that his opponents are dealing out. And all of a sudden, he's really reducing Jackie's farm. Like, if he uses Anchor Smash, it reduces his base damage. It prevents him from getting last hits, and he's just going to continue pressuring here. And Envy's going to have such a rough time in this lane.
He's getting so close to Arcane Boots. If he can actually pop the Mango soon and then pick up Arcane Boots, he'll have such a huge boost in mana at that point in time.
Yeah. But Pylai does shift over. This can pressure him. They probably won't get a kill here. They're going to need at least 3, and most likely Chilling Touch on everybody. Tide is so tanky here. It's going to be a hard kill. They're going for it.
He went for the 2 levels of Kraken Shell as well. This is going to be really tough. Team Secret start going into Ice. But Cold Embrace is going to be able to help Ice, but they have the Chilling Touch even through Ice's HP. They will be able to get that kill. Just enough. The damage of Chilling Touch level 2, just a bit too much for our Tidehunter to be able to deal with.
Ancient Apparition is one of the best counters against Winter Wyvern at all stages of the game. You can Cold Feet during the Cold Embrace. Chilling Touch damage is magical, so it goes through the Chilling Embrace as well. Like, at all stages, Ancient Apparition is going to be great. His ultimate as well when he hits 6. So, looked like he was going to be just fine there, but enough magic damage came out.
It's going to be one of the last moments that Misery really feels comfortable cutting the creep wave like he did at this bottom lane, because Burning is about to pick up his level 6, and with the good control coming up from the Disruptor, they could quite easily get that kill. So may have to start playing a bit more passive. Back to middle lane where Super is dropped low once again. If we hit another power shot, Super is going to be dangerously close to kill threshold.
Yeah, nice advantage here. You can just right-click him every time he comes up for a CS. Not the easiest lane if you are playing an Ember Spirit. Shield goes away, and he's going to have to wait for his bottle to come back before he goes for more last hits.
The spin out bottom lane, trying to stay ahead of Misery. Will be able to get a slight step ahead. And Burning not quite yet level 6, unable to obtain that kill.
And just pressuring like that, it's very good to zone the Darkseer out, but it also costs Burning some last hits. He could easily be the top CSer in this game if he didn't occasionally have to worry about Ion Shell damage and having to pressure the Darkseer. So it really hurts his overall farm due to the fact that there just happens to be a Darkseer in this game.
Yeah, last hitting under tower is never favorable for any carry. Ice going to be gone on once again. This time around, he doesn't have to Winter Wyvern until the TP completes. We'll see whether or not it's enough to save Ice. It is. The Cold Embrace comes in on time. Pylai challenging Fenrir for a bit of damage. He does manage to get Eternal Envy back to safety.
Bit of an interesting skill build here for Puppey. He wasn't doing this in the group stage. He was getting Cold Feet levels. I feel like he could definitely justify at least 1 skill point in it, since it does 150 damage with 1 skill point if it fully triggers.
Do you think they have enough slows, though, for it to be able to proc or even just deal a decent amount of its damage?
That's a good point. They're weak on disables, but you've got Shackle Shot. At level 4, that lasts almost 4 seconds, which is the latch time. And then there's Cold Embrace.
Misery. He knows this is going to be a really tough situation for him to get out of, but he lays down the wall. This is start 1, but he's still on top of Burning. He will be able to get this kill unless the Ion Shell thinks about no!
Oh
he
my
actually
God.
goes down to the double Ion Shells. Misery. He's going to try and walk away from this one, but he gets glimpsed back. He will go down, but Pylai FY's just slowed everything, and he's also got the help of Weehaw coming in. FY is not making out of this one alive. Power shot finishes him off. And boy, Misery just created a beautiful opportunity in this bottom lane.
Those kills are absolutely clutch there. The double Ion Shell, no hero can really match it at this stage in the game. So you have to be so careful, but oftentimes you don't see it on the Mud Golem. You could barely see those little purple spikes sticking out, but it's enough to get the kill.
So smart of him in that situation to stick next to the neutral, so there wasn't really an opportunity for an Omni Slash to get laid on, and also laying down that wall, just creating, even more problems for Vici Gaming in that scenario.
Mud Golems really were Darkseer's best friends. Even if the Omni Slash there, they were going to spawn more little Mud Golems to eat Omni Slashes. It was such a good place for him to fight.
We do have a nice little stack here in the middle lane for the Tidehunter to clean up later once he's got those higher levels of Anchor Smash.
Oops, smoke coming out of Burning. I'm guessing this is going to be for Weehaw. Omni Slash does still strike through Windrun. The slashes in between will miss.
FY being chased down by Pylai right now. Inspector is going to come in for this kill. He just glimpsed back the Night Stalker. Is going to go for the TP out. Eternal Envy doesn't quite yet have the attack speed necessary to be able to get a kill like that one. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Omni Flash goes down. Weehaw running out of wind run time will be chased down by the Ember Spirit, and they do ensure a kill there. Immediate cancel TP. As they know, Weehaw, so many heroes of Vici Gaming overwhelming him, no chance to save him.
It's a solid rotation, but they lost their safe tower because of this. It took a lot of damage early on just because Darkseer is pressuring it, just naturally, and then as they shift down, they didn't get the kill on the Disruptor, but taking the tower is huge, because now Secret can basically have off the map. They can place a lot of wards that cover this Radiant jungle, and they can make sure that they get that farm, and that their opponents aren't able to.
There is enough for a spin on the Juggernaut. If he wants to try and go for this one, pops the mango, actually goes for the healing ward. Ice, of course, does have his ultimate. Looks like this tier 1 tower will be going down. Team Secret knowing not to try and contest. Nice little sneak around there. Misery was stuck in the trees, but managed to eat through one of the trees. Surge is a decent distance away, but he's going to be running into the rest of Vici Gaming unless he just hides in the perfect spot. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Puppey runs into some of these heroes, but to be back from Super, and he leaves Ice to his death, apparently, as he's just going to be chased down by Weehaw. Misery reveals himself now. The Ravage goes out, but it's too late. The Tidehunter dies. An awkward engagement there for Vici Gaming.
Yeah. I wanted to flame the Observer really bad there because I didn't hear the Ravage sound, and I was like, somebody's messing up. It's okay. He was pretty much dead. It was a panic Ravage. He was either uses that and maybe survives or nothing. So not the best trade there.
Well, the Haste Rune is going to be picked up by Weehaw. So he'll feel even more secure pushing forward in this middle lane, knowing he's got that escape mechanism, that Haste Rune to fall back on.
Spectre going for all early game items, even Wand included. I think this is really what he should do since the Vici Gaming's lineup is so good in the mid game. Maybe Ember Spirit doesn't super kick in until the 11 to 16 levels, but the previous, like, once everybody's 6-line Vici Gaming, they're ready to party. On the downside, Disruptor is really behind due to those early deaths against the Darkseer, but once he does get 6, they could definitely get some good fights. And Disruptor just naturally is so good against Spectre anyways, because if Spectre does use his ultimate and teleports in, ulti on top.
Puppey is going to go down. Burning finds a nice little opening, but it was an Omni Slash for an Ancient Apparition. Vici Gaming are definitely going to need a lot better openings than that to take control of this game again. That's why Ice. He's currently trying to clear through this Ancient stack, even going for another stack. Does get it.
He's going to be really farmed after this. That'll be a mech, so heal for his team. Although, I don't think Puppey's too upset about that death. He got 6 right before he died. So.
Yeah, and that's going to be a direct counter to potentially the mech pickup of the Tidehunter. You talked about how the Ancient Apparition as a whole is a counter to the Winter Wyvern in many ways.
And even Super's got to be a little worried about this as well. If they can remove Flame Guard in some way, or just nuke him enough, bursting him down would be really crucial here, because in a lot of cases, Ember Spirit is the most dangerous carry that is picked in the late game, whereas Jug is easier to shut down and outplay in some ways.
Eternal Envy is getting some free farm in the bottom lane right now, while Vici Gaming are trying to clear through that stack. Burning is doing something similar, spending most of his time actually in the top lane, farming up the jungle and waiting for the lane to push out.
Yep, they basically both have free reign in areas kind of close to their off-lane tower right now. So while it may seem weird to have the carry be sitting over here, by taking that tower, it just takes so much more time for the opposite team to move across the map to gank them.
Nighttime just started in Team Secret. Gonna go start this off with a bang, it looks like. Smoke leading things in. They're gonna go deep into the enemy jungle, see if they can't find somebody to pick off. Super, of course, would be an amazing start. Weehaw, can he get the shackle shot? Lands up. We'll be able to get that one with the Ancient Apparition. Ice Blast over the top. A quick pickoff, and Eternal Envy actually jumping in for a little bit more.
Had damage so much, he even had Flame Guard on, but he just got blown up. The Ice Vortex makes a big difference in that, and all it took was a power shot, a Spectral Dagger, a couple small nukes, and that's a dead hero.
Team Secret, they're holding on to so much in the net worth in this game. Highlight Eye is actually going to be brought back, does get ahead of the kinetic field. And that means Vici Gaming won't be able to pick him off. In fact, Highlight Eye is still feeling confident enough to stick around. He's so incredibly tanky, and Vici Gaming are definitely lacking damage right now.
The observer wards that they placed while they did that gank was also really nice, because while getting the Ember kill, they also accomplished something else, and that's, again, huge map control in the jungle. And this more aggressive ward that they placed close to the tier 1 mid, it's going to allow them to see people farming the jungle camps close to the tier 1 and tier 2 towers, as well as protecting any movement going from the mid lane into the jungle. So pretty safely, if Envy wants a safe place to farm, for example, you can just sit in their jungle, where they're unlikely to have observer wards, and just casually last hit creeps.
Honestly, it doesn't even seem like Eternal Envy has been shut down all that much. He's sitting at 5k, just below Burning's net worth.
Yeah.
He has Phase Boots, Ring of Aquila, another 1,800 gold to start building into that Radiance. Vici Gaming, they're going to start kicking their strategy into gear here. They can't afford to let this Spectre get a Radiance.
Burning's going to try to get an Omni slash top.
Goes for it now. Eternal Envy just daggers into the trees, but now here comes the turnaround. Pops out the spin and TP's away.
I like that from him. I mean, it's limiting his last hits by a little bit, but if he gets a little lucky there, he could get a solo kill on Spectre, and he would shoot up heavily on net worth because of that.
Man, Misery's got so much farm. He's sitting at 6k right now because he did go for the very early Hand of Midas, another 2,200 gold in the bank, and he will be picking up a mech.
That's such an old school build. That was something that was built like the era before Guardian Greaves, where you felt like you would run out of item slots really fast. You'd instead buy really big items. But because he did do so well in the early game, he gets a mech at a reasonable time, even if he didn't have a Midas. And with the Midas now, he's going to be able to get some huge items, such as Shiva's Guard, Scythe of Vice, things like that. Like hard lockdowns, tons of survivability.
And that's going to be perfect against Vici Gaming, who have both the Ember Spirit as well as the Juggernaut. We're able to react decently well to ganks. Of course, the Ember Spirit jumping away, and Juggernaut has the spin. So if they have that Blink instant lockdown of Blink Scythe of Ice on the Darkseer, I could see that working out really well for Team Secret going later on into the game.
Especially because their disables are a little weak, as we talked about before. If a lot of times you have to take it super late, or you have to have an insanely good game, but by getting this Midas earlier off of his early double kill, it's a great choice here from Misery.
Oh, FY. He just found Pylai Die in an awkward position. Pylai Die actually trying to go for the silence on FY. Now trying to get ahead of the Glimpse. Ice runs into him though, and the Glimpse will now bring him right back. Pylai Die does have that Ion Shell on him, but it's not going to be enough to get a kill anywhere. Tries to threaten FY, but it just will not happen.
I really like Secret's patience when something like that happens. They do obviously poke and prod in weird areas, but they don't all run past the tower and say, let's save him, which I feel like a lot of other teams do. It takes a lot of patience to be able to just cut your losses like that. Or maybe they're just experienced with it. I don't know. It's like, oh, Pylai Die's off doing crazy things again.
In the meantime, Burning did take the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, but Spectre's getting equal, if not more, free farms than Burning at this point. Spectre ultimate goes out, middle lane, jump back, Ember Spirit will be able to get away from that one in time.
That was a missed shackle, I assume, to try to grab Super there. So kind of a big loss because they don't have Haunt anymore. Envy won't be able to participate in any ganks that happen in the next 2 minutes, which is kind of a big deal. You'd like to jump in with Spectre, steal the kill. That way you get the Radiance a little bit faster, because the faster you get your Radiance, the more damage it does as a percentage of somebody's HP, just because it does so much damage in the early game, and once they tank up, it'll do way less.
When do you think Vici Gaming start being aggressive, or do they really have to? They have both an Ember Spirit and a Juggernaut going into the mid-game. They do have this amazing team fight lineup. Oh, they're going to catch Pylai Die once again. This time around, though, TPs are going to come in from Team Secret. Weehawk tries to get something out, but a Static Storm is going to force him away. Vici Gaming will claim Pylai Die's life and get out for free, it seems.
I think what they're doing now is fine. Just group up a little bit, take some towers. With just having Disruptor, it's easier to find picks like that, and they make it work. Burning is looking for solo kills as well. Hasn't found any in a while, but I think they're poking and prodding just enough. They're farming enough, and now they're going to take some important towers.
Yeah, Burning is actually going to be going for a Battle Fury build.
Basically, Secret knows that this stuff is going to happen. They know that Vici Gaming is going to have a better 5-man lineup in the early game. Oh, glimpse back. Puppy gets caught.
Does catch Puppy. Vici Gaming, though, opting not to dive that tier 2 tower, and probably wise. You had both Misery and Weehawk set up and ready to respond.
Yeah, so basically Secret just wants to delay this push as much as they can. Yeah, it would have been great to win an early team fight, but it's not something you expect when your opponent have Tidehunter and Disruptor and Juggernaut and Ember Spirit. They have a lot of really good early to mid-game stuff. It isn't until they get the Radiance that Secret's lineup really gets scary. So for now, they're going to keep doing what they're doing, which is trying to get free kills on a couple of cores so that they can create pressure on the map for Vici Gaming while allowing Envy to farm other places.
Well, Vici Gaming are about to get a huge huge buff up in initiation as Tidehunter is going to be completing a Blink Dagger as soon as he clears through this stack.
That's a really good timing. Despite being 1-2 and 2, Ice has been farming very well. Tide is definitely a hero to fear, that's for sure.
He's going to need to find the openings for some of his supports, as both Winter Wyvern and Disruptor, I would say, are better when they have a good initiator like the Tidehunter to jump in, allowing those premier static storms to follow up.
What do you think Super's doing here? He's got 3,300 gold on Ember Spirit. He hasn't even bought his Perseverance yet. Do you think he's gonna battle fear? Okay, did he just buy it?
Yeah. He just now picked up the Perseverance, but maybe he was considering, I don't know, how much of a danger is that Night Stalker Silence? Sometimes we've seen Ember Spirits go for the Manta build when they have like an Orchid hero. In this case, the biggest lockdown would be that Silence.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably what they did. Glimpse back here. And catch Highlight Eye.
Yeah, he's caught a little bit. Burning is going to come in. He does still have the Omni Slash. They're going to try and pop him real quickly, but Highlight Eye with a TP out. Super couldn't get the chains in time. Meanwhile, Wind Ranger managed to land the Shackle there, and Ice will not be able to keep those heroes around.
You know, to be honest, I think Pilot Die is doing this on purpose. I'm not even kidding. He's basically saying, okay, come kill me, Vici, come run across the map and kill me over here. And if he evades it, it's good. Because right now, he just bought Envy like another 30 seconds because Vici Gaming keeps saying, hey, there's a free Night Stalker. Let's go kill that free Night Stalker. And they're using Glimpse and TPs and movement. And he went to the opposite side of the map where Envy was, which means that it takes even longer for them to get to where Envy is.
Oh no, the Ravages are going to catch him, but the Winter's Curse does. Weeha's still alive though. He's going to turn around trying to get off the Shackle's trap, but doesn't quite hit. Vici Gaming, they're still hit by that Ice Blast though. Spectre's going to come in, tries to go for Fenrir first. Both the supports are actually incredibly low. Super and Ice Blast. Vacuum coming out from Misery with a wall over the top that catches 4, but is it going to be enough? Super's still fighting it out. Burning now comes in with his spin. They're chasing down Puppey, and it looks like they should be able to get that kill quite easily. The Ember Spirit bouncing around, but Eternal Envy's right in the middle though, is going for Fenrir. Puppey hiding himself in the trees will finally die, but Vici Gamer going to call it quits from there. They end up getting 3 in exchange for losing both their supports.
That is not good enough when you're up against a Spectre, especially when the Spectre survived through that battle, got the experience, and got some extra gold as well. He did a ton of damage even without having Radiance, and boom, there it is. Radiance is up 20 minutes, even though he bought a bunch of early game items. He's sitting pretty here.
The space created by Pylai Die and some of the kills set up by the rest of Team Secret allows the Spectre to have this incredible recovery, where she's sitting at 8,300 net worth right now, still 500 below Burning. But obviously that Radiance is going to mean so much more than Burning's Battle Fury.
Yeah, definitely will. And especially as the game continues, Ember Spirit is kind of more of an AoE hero, and if Spectre just buys a lot of straight HP, the only hero he has to worry about is maybe Winter Wyvern's Arctic Burn as well as Juggernaut directly. And Juggernaut also on a Battle Fury build, but that's more for a let me farm really rapidly. And I like that choice against the Spectre. I think it's a decent item to pick up.
Super exploring the Dire side jungle right now. Weeha's going to spot him out with the power shot.
Dire's middle tower taking
They're setting up camp, but not pushing in that tier 2. Not yet anyway. Ice. Perhaps thinking about going for the dive on a Puppey. They do have the vision necessary, and it looks like Puppey is going to be caught. Static Storm laid out, so there's no chance of having a return Ice Blast and allowing Team Secret to perhaps pick up some kills in return.
Yeah, a little unfortunate that happened, but as you can tell from Secret's positioning on the map, they weren't quite ready to fight that. They're thinking about it now. They've got Haunt up now, and they could have started... Ooh, Envy gets initiated. He's going to be okay, though. Lost a lot of HP there, though. It's about 250.
There's the Battle Fury for Super, but Vici Gaming seem well prepared to push this late game against the Spectre. With double Battle Furies, both of their 1 and 2 position. I'm not even sure which is which at this point in time. They're going to be extremely farmed.
Yeah. But Secret's gank potential is still is good now and is going to get even better once there is a Blink Dagger on Weeha. So it's getting a little scary for Vici, but I would say this game is still very equal, honestly. It's going to come down to initiation, largely. They could just gank Eternal Envy many times and decrease his farm. There's a lot of things that they can do. I think they need to stop getting as baited by Pylai Die, though most of that damage has been dealt already. They spent so much time killing him, the enemy got a reasonable Radiance. So as long as Secret takes a reasonably decent fight, they get to initiate first and get an Ice Blast on one person, they're going to win the fight every time.
Tower is being attacked.
Taking a look at some of the other items that have been or will be completed. We have an Aghanim Scepter now for Weehaw. FY did complete a Glimmer Cape. Burning now has a Yasha. We're going to see Secret go for the smoke in. He actually run into Super here. Does manage to get the meteor chains out on a Pylite die, halting his march forward into the Radiant side of the base.
So as long as Vici Gaming doesn't get an Aegis, then Secret's going to be okay, I think. I don't think they feel good about taking it themselves. They don't have a good Roche lineup. They don't have a Medallion. They've got a Spectre who doesn't have any natural regen or lifesteal that she builds, so they don't have a good way to take Roche. That just means they have to make sure that Vici Gaming doesn't get it, because Vici Gaming can deal with this very easily. Juggernaut's got a ton of damage. Almost a shackle on top, actually, but a great spin reaction from Burning.
There is so much damage. In fact, if it was just a little bit more, maybe he got hit by some sort of spell before that magic immunity, he would have actually taken down for the Ice Blast, but he will survive in base.
That was such a clutch spin, honestly, because Envy even committed the ultimate. So now, it may just be Vici Gaming just sets a Feroce and takes it easily. Burning should be running there right now. He didn't even wait until he was full HP.
Oh, Fenrir just barely off the mark with his counter ward.
It's a great observer ward.
They seem to know. It's got to be around there somewhere. They saw the support actually placing it, so... You catch it now, take away some of that vision around the Roshan pit. They're actually going to go for the bite here at the top lane. Weehaw's going to be chased out by Super. Glimpse back, FY still looking for the hold. Eternal Envy's on the side, they know it too. Won't be able to get that kinetic field, and Super hit by the Ice Blast. If you really want to go for this one, he's going to catch Weehaw. Eternal Envy doesn't really have a chance to respond unless he's got some backup. Misery's going to come in. Super has a Remnant to jump away to. The vacuum hits him. Doesn't really have a good Remnant anymore now that he's just walking away. Didn't have the mana to jump out.
A little surprised he was able to get that kill. I thought, oh, he ran out of mana. Okay. I was like, why would he throw that up and not jump to it? Makes sense. Spent a little bit too much killing Weehaw there, so they actually got some value out of that. I don't think that's terrible here, because I would like to see Envy get his next big HP item before... I think that's more important, basically, than Weehaw getting an extra 300 gold or something like that.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I'm not sure if his... like the next item, Blink Dagger perhaps. I feel like they still need extra initiation, and the Blink Dagger would obviously open up better shackle shots for Wii.
Yeah, but Burning is reacting so fast here, I don't even know if a Blink Dagger is going to be enough.
True.
But Spectre with HP can definitely clear out the back line of Vici Gaming. Disruptor is a little set up for this. He's already got a Glimmer Cape. It'll reduce the magic damage that the Radiance does, and he can also make himself invisible if Spectre is chasing, but Spectre's got a little bit of a bug on his side. If you throw the dagger on a hero that becomes invisible, you know exactly where they are.
What do you think about this Blink Dagger pickup from Burning? What's the best target for him?
Ancient Apparition easily. But you might not be able to catch him. Yeah, basically A is your go-to. Pretty much everybody else on Secret is really tanky. 1400 HP or so. Catching Spectre by himself wouldn't be bad either. They might get a catch here.
Yeah, Fenrir leads away with his Glimmer Cape. They immediately pop two different ultimates to make sure that Weehaw dies. Ice. Looking for more, but he already expended his guns, but he got the vision necessary for the glimpse to catch Puppy. That'll get a secondary kill. Vici Gaming, they may just be able to go straight for Roshan. Burning's inside the pit right now, doing it solo.
How many glimpses have led to kills this game? The Disruptor pick has completely worked out here. Secret, if there wasn't a Disruptor, for example, Secret would have like at least 4 or 5 less deaths this game. It's made it so much easier for them to score kills, and because they did end up grabbing the Wind Ranger, there's nothing Secret can do to stop this Roche.
So Secret just gonna spend more time farming away.
Yeah, that's all they can do basically until Wind Ranger gets her Blink Dagger now, because now their ganks are just becoming harder and harder.
Vici Gaming, I mean, at this point, you probably just keep going, right? I mean, I know you've extended Omni Slash that's down for 50. So, okay, so maybe you wait the 50 seconds for both your big ultimates, but you could probably push down some of these tier 2 towers now.
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, even without Omni Slash, they still got Ravage, and Ravage is already going to do a lot. Juggernaut with a Blink Dagger, he doesn't have to worry as much about being far back in battle, because he can blink forward and then start attacking. So even without Omni Slash, I totally agree. He can definitely get some damage in.
I was wondering if Ice was going to go Force Staff as his next item, but it looks like he's going to go Pipe instead against an Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, I like that. Give some magic protection, 10% just from the aura. You can damage block with it for your team. It's a really good counter against Radiance, basically. Because if Envy uses his ult, all those illusions spawn. They'll all do 50 damage a second. but they don't last the same amount of time that the pipe would protect from. The pipe protects up to 400 damage, so it's basically just a full Radiance counter. And because he's getting it so fast, that's most of Spectre's damage right now, and it puts Secret in a really bad place, actually. They're just getting too many kills on Secret.
Yeah, oftentimes things are, I feel like things are actually a little bit fragile for a Spectre when you're going into that team fight. If the enemy team has just enough sustain to stick together and play as a unit, Spectre's not going to be able to get as much Radiance, burn damage, not going to be able to stick in there with the Desolate hits as well. That's when things really start going bad against the Spectre, when you start retreating and separating.
But Secrets can still get a good team fight, and that's what they're trying to do here. Smoke 4, they're going to wrap around the back. Can they catch somebody? FY is Invis, though. I don't even know if they have detection. They do actually have a dust on the Night Stalker, but with Smoke Pop, they have no surefire way to say where exactly that guy is.
Yeah, and they're not going to pursue Vici Gaming up into the jungle. That'd just be too dangerous of a prospect. So instead, they're going to back up Weehaw as he goes for the back door on this Tier 1 tower.
Yeah, any Tier 1 tower doesn't have back row protection. So pretty easy kill there, and makes the rotation a little bit worth it, but they might get engaged on here.
FY thinking about going in still with his Invis. Tide Hunter following this up as well. Misery gets spotted. They're going to glimpse him back. Actually, the ultimate getting laid down. They're going to control Misery now, but this is expending a lot just to be able to kill Misery. And manage to get off the Guardian Greaves, getting out of the chains immediately, turns around, gets back in ahead of the Ice Blast as well. Finally dies to the Omni Slash, but Vici Gaming has just expended everything they can to kill that hero. Looks like they will still be able to get away, as Team Secret are not going to be forcing.
Will they ravage this?
Oh, ice! A clean whiff there, as he thought he could get Eternal Envy on the TP out, but no way.
That would have been a great stun. I mean, it would have led to a crazy chase of Eternal Envy through trees and hills, but interrupting that TP and getting the kill after would have been huge. They're going to find Weehaw, though, in the jungle.
Yeah, he's been caught.
Oh, great shackle.
They've
but
taken away that Aegis, but it's going to be at the cost of Weehaw's life. It looks like FY. He's going to get the kinetic field, does reveal Weehaw, gets the chains down, and finally they'll get this kill.
Man, FY has been all over the
Spectre wants to go for this one. FY's quite low. The Glimmer Cape gets laid out. TV's away. It's still Envy. He's actually incredibly low. Poppy's got the backup though, and Pylon Eye's coming in as well. The support's on the retreat. Tuber's going to be the target. Gets bounced up and does die. FY tries to go for the kill on Eternal Envy, but he'll get away. Pylon Eye keeps on going for more. He'll find Fenrir and claim him as his own.
What a great fight for Secret there. They finally got some advantage. They have been behind this whole time. A Manta Style picked up on Spectre, the immediate item right after the Radiance. He can remove a lot of important things with this, such as oh man, I had one. Searing Chains on Ember Spirit. That's the big one. It's the best way to prevent him from being locked down.
And never mind, he's fine. Not only is he incredibly tanky, especially now that he's got that Hood of Defiance, but Misery, after using the vacuum, didn't have a TP cancel.
So it looks like Misery's gonna make a BKB, I'm guessing. It's a bit of a weird item to grab after you have a Hand of Midas. You think like, oh man, he's so rich and he's so ahead. Surely you just go for the next step. But I feel like the BKB is what they need to guarantee that he gets the vacuum wall. Because like Disruptor, Glimpse, for example, oh, you might be in trouble.
Omni Slash, he tried to get the vacuum out before it happened, but Burning sticks right on him with that level 3 Omni Slash. He gets an incredibly good pickoff. Now for the next minute, Vici Gaming can focus on regaining map control and perhaps pushing out again.
Maybe he needs a Ghost Scepter instead. Prevent the Juggernaut from getting easy kills like that with the Blink. Like, I mean, he could get Ashivas as well, which would protect him in some ways, but a Ghost Scepter might just be what he needs now to stay alive. But with that early Midas, it hasn't quite paid off just yet. It's a hard game for him, though, really. I mean, there's so many different ways that he's in trouble. You have to worry about Glimpse into the Disruptor ulti. You have to worry about Omni Slash. That's like two very different problems that need solving.
Man, they just have nothing really to deal with this Burning Split Push. Between the Blink Dagger and then always making sure to carry a TP scroll, he's been able to react to the attempted Team Secret ganks, and I'm not sure if they're even going to try anymore.
Well, it's 1,000 gold up on Eternal Envy now, so he's going to be moving towards his next item. What do you think he's going to build next? Do you think HP, hybrid, agility item?
Yeah, I would probably say, I'm trying to think, is Butterfly as useful as HP at this point? I think HP is a bit more useful for you, just because there's still a decent amount of magic damage.
I guess. I like the Butterfly idea a lot. They did change his dispersion, so it's not just based on how much damage you take, how much HP you buy, essentially. If he gets evasion and he increases his armor a bit, any physical damage that he takes is going to be reflected in a lot of ways. And also it protects him against the Winter's Curse. He'll evade his allies' attack. They're going to fight,
Team
though.
Secret, they're going to run right into Vici Gaming. A Ravage goes out. That's going to catch more. And Vici Gaming are rolling up on Weehaw. The ultimate gets played out. Weehaw being controlled. He's still alive somehow, but he finally does go down. The Static Storm prevents any sort of response out from Secret whatsoever. They're on full retreat right now, but Puppy, he's going to be the last one to die in this fight. Glimpse back, 2 heroes go down, a 4-man Ravage set everything up there for Vici Gaming to easily take the team fight. And it looks like they may even push uphill.
I just can't believe only 2 heroes died from that. That was the perfect setup from Vici Gaming. They even got the Static Storm and the Kinetic Field set up afterwards. They couldn't do anything to stop Weehaw from dying.
I think a large part of it was the fact that the Winter's Curse didn't hit more than one unit, just hit Weehaw, but he was really focused on controlling that hero and making sure there was no Shackle Shot or Windrun.
Well, Envy's going to try to slow this down just by using Radiance Burn, but the tower is taking damage. I don't think this one's going to stay alive.
Vici Gaming, another 5 seconds or so until the Wind Ranger and Ancient Apparition are back up. They're going to start getting away. Don't want to get too greedy after a great team fight like that. They still have the Omni Slash, but no good AoE.
He can ult to catch
like
up if he really wants to. Okay, he's not going to. No, maybe they will.
With the Ice Blast, perhaps. It's going to land on Fenrir here. Eternal Envy does go in. The Glimmer Cape is not going to come in time. And now he's going to look for more. FY's already down to half HP with the Ion Shell. He's just mowing through his supports left and right. Super's now going to try and get away. Should be fine, but a Shackle locks him in. Super's going to go down as well. Omni Slash coming through, but there's too many units. He's just going to have all that damage mitigated. Burning now trying to go for a spin to win on his way out to the Tier 2 tower, but Team Secret, they're just going to keep going. They don't care about towers anymore. Manta will dispel some of this. Oh, the Shackle! Launches him down before he can get the quick kill. Ice gets wiped as well. Vici Gaming, they go too far. They go too deep, and Eternal Envy, he finds the perfect response.
Man, a simple play there where they just tried to take a building, and all of a sudden, Secret chased them down. Some of the most mobile heroes in the game, and the Glimpse did nothing to stop Envy. He just popped his ult and teleported straight up into Vici Gaming, taking 5 heroes, man.
And the crowd is loving it too. They see Vici Gaming. They don't have buybacks on 2 of their heroes. This could be Team Secret perhaps taking a full lane of Rack, especially if they can get more pickoffs. Fenrir, he does have the Winter's Curse, spamming up some Splinter Blast, and Team Secret, they're going to learn from Vici Gaming's mistakes. They're going to back out nice and early, making sure they cannot get caught.
Envy's got 4,000 gold now. We're going to see what item he picks up right next. I would love to see a Butterfly or a Scotty. I think those are going to be his best options, but he may just go hard as well to guarantee that he's always at full HP once he's out of combat. But for now, Secret basically just goes back to the game they're playing. Wait for their cooldowns, get a little map control, and then try to get a 4-man smoke into a team fight.
Yeah, there's the heart. Eternal Envy, he's got so much gold that he might as well pick up the biggest HP item he can, Reaver and Vitality Booster, in his inventory. And this is a really bad sign, because once he completes that heart, then we can start talking about things like that Butterfly from earlier, and that's going to be even more effective when you've had that just raw increase in HP.
That HP is going to be so much. And Vici Gaming immediately gets ready to fight. The reason they couldn't win that last one was no Ravage, but they will have the setup here.
Yeah, the Ravage on it too here. Eternal Envy's going to be controlled up immediately. Now the Winter's Curse. Eternal Envy has everything blown on him, but somehow he's still alive, but he will go down eventually. Vici Gaming going to look for more. Secret, they had a response with Highlight Eye. Looks like he'll be able to get out. But Team Secret, they just lost a fight right in front of the Roshan pit. Luckily for them, Roshan is not up yet, but of course, we all know it's only seconds away.
A little unfortunate. Actually, it's quite unlucky for Vici Gaming. The Roche is spawning a little bit late, close to the 2-minute mark out of 3 possible minutes. And if they could have gotten it right there, huge advantage. Get ready. They'd still have to wait for the next Ravage, I guess, so they're not quite ready to take the next fight against Secret.
If they go in there right now, they may still have time. 30 seconds left until the Darkseer's back up. And yeah, they see Roshan's up. They're going to go for it now. Burning just now picking up a Basher. Soon to be a Pistol Blade for him if this continues.
Nice
Highlight Eye. He's got an Axe. He's got a Gem. He's revealing all of this. The Ice Blast is going to come in. Vici Gaming going to retreat out. Roshan's still decently healthy, but now Super's going to add his damage to the pool. And together, they should be able to take it. Spectre does have an ultimate, though. If they're brought a bit too low, Vici Gaming may have a fight on their hands that they can't win.
They're going to be absolutely fine here. There's no haunt for 10 seconds. Doesn't have buyback for this one, so Aegis is going to go to Vici Gaming here.
Puppy getting dangerously close to the pit. Team Secret, they're still gonna try and fight this one. Spectre ultimate goes out. Puppy immediately gets blown up. Oh no, they're not gonna have an ice blast for this
Oh,
fight.
the shackle.
Shot and lashes down Super. Controls ice as well. The
No,
cold
hey.
It's fine. Super's fine. He now gets another slide of fish out. The Glimmer Cave as well. He's hitting away into the road shot pin. Misery's trying to chase him
Oh,
down.
they
They
got him.
finally get the kill. But Eternal Envy's battling out with Burning. They can't. No, Eternal Envy. He's getting out as well. The Winter's Curse doesn't catch him. Here comes the second life for Burning, and he's gonna be back in. And he's mad. He's pissed. He wants more. But Team Secret, they got the kills they wanted. They're gonna try and get out as much as possible. Misery will die, but the rest of Team Secret escaped most critically. The Eternal Envy Spectre back to base.
Man, if he went down there, that's a Rax basically. They go straight up mid, take the tower, and even still, it might happen. They don't have any buybacks except for on Puppy. The biggest mistake made there was him. He shifted in, he died, he didn't get his ultimate off, and because of that, it took so much longer to kill the Ember Spirit.
They've got an Ice Blast now from the Ancient Apparition, but it needs to be a good one if they're going to be able to force Vici Gaming away from this lane of Rax. The dagger gets laid out. Eternal Envy putting himself on the front line. Fenrir gets over the cliff ever so barely.
The illusions are pressuring, going onto the supports. This is a really nice thing about having all that HP is that he can just put these in the middle of his opponents and it clears the creep way slowly. Glimpse
Still
comes back.
8 seconds. They're going for
Army
Eternal
slash.
Envy now, but off the inface. The Glimmer Cave saves Eternal Envy with damage. And now Team Secret, they
Oh,
see
they're
their
chasing.
opening. They're going to make this turnaround. The Ice Blast gets laid down on Vici Gaming. The pipe is helping to protect these supports, but Weehaws come in. He gets the shackle shot. Vici Gaming, they didn't get the laner Rax, and now they're just going to try and TP away. Fenrir, another beautiful Glimmer Cave, gets the TP out. Vici Gaming managed to keep their losses to a minimum, only losing their Disruptor, but they did claim that tier 3 tower in the middle lane.
That's that gem being gone. It used to be on Night Stalker, but I'm pretty sure the Vici Gaming picked it up after that fight. And good for them as well, because that would have been an extra kill. Oh, okay, he's got it again. Must have picked it up on the courier.
There's going to be some big upgrades coming in. We're talking about the Force Staff, but once again, we're going to see a Disruptor that goes for the Aghanim Scepter almost immediately.
Okay.
Just slightly sidestepped by the Glimmer Cape.
I like that. It gives him a option that can help his allies. In the previous Disruptor game today, he never finished the Aghanims, and because of that, you just have a bunch of items that give you stats on HP. By going for at least a mobility or survivability item first, it gives you so many more options and way less deaths, which will ultimately get you your next item faster.
If he actually completes his Aghanim Scepter, they'll have really good lockdown against that Darkseer. If they can actually stop his BKB, because that'll be the best response. If they get Ravage, if he's able to get the BKB off, turns around, vacuums, walls, that'll cause enough chaos that Vici Gaming may not cleanly win the fight like they're intended. So
it all comes down to the setup, though. If he glimpses first, Misery can pop BKB to stop the glimpse from going through. But if they Ravage first, which it's happened so many times this game, I anticipate it will happen more. If they Ravage into the kinetic field with the Static Storm, man, that's just going to win the fight. Secret won't be able to pop BKBs. They won't be able to cast. They can attack, but that's about it.
speaking of BKBs, there's one on Burning now. And Daedalus complete for Super.
He's really farmed. This is like a really dangerous point to play against Juggernaut, especially if he gets an Abyssal Blade afterwards. Like if Spectre's solo, he's still going to take too much damage from this. And for that reason, I'm a little... the heart is the right choice, I think, but he needs some better way to deal with physical damage, whether he goes AC or Butterfly or just goes super tanky with a Scotty after this. But he needs some way to not die to the Juggernaut, because right now that's his biggest threat.
Especially with Burning next on the block should be that Abyssal Blade we were talking about earlier. He stalled it up for the BKB, but now he's got no other slots but the Abyssal Blade. Team Secret leading the way here. The Night Stalker is waiting for the rest of his team. He has that Ags and Gem revealing Vici Gaming, but Vici Gaming are staying one step ahead. Team Secret aren't able to find their opening unless Vici Gaming start turning back around, but they have full 5. We're going to look towards Misery to make that blink and vacuum initiation. There's so much of Vici Gaming grouped up. They're going to make their initiation now. Already, Fenrir's been locked in. The Spectral Big gets laid out. The vacuum controls Super, but they still gets off the slightest distance and bounces himself away. Vici Gaming just want to get out of this fight as best as possible. The Unslash bounce around. The Ravage gets laid out now. It does clip Eternal Envy on the side, but a Shackle Shot comes in. Ice Blast over the top. Ice He is out of his league. He's going to be taken down by 3 members of Team Secret. The rest of Vici Gaming just going to try and get out of this one. They've kept their 2 carries alive, but Team Secret They didn't lose anybody, and this is right in front of the Vici Gaming base.
It's a bit of an interesting initiation, but it did work out. The main thing was that the Omni Slash just didn't strike very true. It hit a lot of illusions. It jumped so good at the start on Pylite Eye, but once it jumped to some of those super tanky illusions, it ate up all the slashes, and that's just too much of the damage potential that Vici Gaming has. And now they're on a big cooldown for Omni Slash. Eternal Envy doesn't need his ulti to fight, but it helps a lot for team fight situations. Right now, it's going to be hard for Jug to deal with him.
In 5 seconds, they'll have the Winter Wyvern ready to go in these fights, and does have Winter's first. That was the first target by Team Secret. Weehaw jumped in, hit that Blink Dagger Shackle shot, took him out first thing first. But what I really loved about that fight from Team Secret is the way that they actually were able to respond to, okay, we didn't kill everyone immediately, they got off on these Slash, and they actually backed away from that Ravage. You know, there was so much chaos in that fight. It's understandable that Ice just responds to the Ravage, sees a bunch of Spectre illusions, doesn't know what's what. And it was two very ineffective ultimates, the Omni Slash and the Ravage. And then there was no hold down from the Winter Wyvern. So ultimately, what are you left with from Vici Gaming?
And just seeing him Ravage there is a really good way to show just the difference between initiating with Ravage and the difference between using a Ravage mid-fight. Good players, they're going to know what's going to happen the entire time. Secret was waiting for it. They say if Tide goes in, that's what's going to happen. If the fight starts, the Ravage will come. So they spread out just enough. The Ravage was super ineffective. In fact, a lot of ultimates were ineffective in that fight, and that's just because the players knew what to expect.
We've now got a Vlad. This is actually a really big increase for Eternal Envy. They've actually now got a source of lifesteal for him.
Who picked up the Vlads?
That would be Pylite Eyes.
Okay, yeah, totally standard Night Stalker item, but great on Spectre right now. Lifesteal for him. The extra 5 armor will synergize really well with Dispersion as well against Juggernaut.
Vici Gaming just found themselves a double damage, but once again, it is just the vision game, and you can't beat Team Secret at it. The Agh's Gem just granting too much of an advantage to Team Secret right now.
And the Darkness ultimate, the Night Stalker ultimate, reduces the vision of everybody. It makes it so much harder for them to fight correctly because they can't see where everyone is unless they have perfect wards.
Burning immediately blinks in with his DD, pops a Manta. Eternal Envy there with the challenge.
He's got buyback if he dies.
Highlight Eye is going to come in from the side, does silence up FY. Weehaw. He's going to be looking for that Blink Dagger initiation. Ravage turnaround. They're going to try and blow up Puppy. Immediately gets him.
Great shackle.
Now look for the shackle shot. It's on to FY and Fenrir. If they can get off either one of these opens, they're backing on the top as well. Fenrir still no Winter's curses. He's
the clean on
force himself away, but the Daedalus, it just did so much from Super. He's got Weehaw. They finally take out Fenrir without the ultimate, but there's still the 2 carries left alive for Vici Gaming. They're battling out with Eternal Envy. Here comes that healing ward, trying to keep it alive. Super desperately needs it. Bash on the Pylite Eye. They're surrounding him, hoping to be able to get another bash. They've got it too. The guns, and now it's a board. Super's found Eternal Envy. They've locked him down as well. Vici Gaming have won the fight just like Team Secret did, right in front of the enemy base, and they want to claim that lane of frags and make this game dead even. But Eternal Envy, he's already popped back, and he wants to get into the mix of things. He knows they doesn't have their ultimate. He's going to try and pop that Manta and defend the melee rack. He goes in deep against 3 heroes, but he knows ultimately his damage is not going to be enough to push Vici Gaming back.
He can't fight 3 heroes. 1, yes. 2, maybe, but 3, definitely not. They're way too tanky, and he gets less bonuses from his passives because of it. They just need to keep Ancient Apparition alive. Again, in that fight, Vici Gaming was able to initiate and blow him up right at the start. They need that debuff from his ultimate to guarantee some kills. That way, Eternal Envy can commit to something that he knows will be successful. But when he has to worry about killing them all the way down, and they have a lot of outplay potential with heals and mechs and wands, then it just gets so hard.
For a second there, I thought Burning was going to take a big leap of faith as he took a half a step towards that secret shop, and I thought maybe he was going to complete the Abyssal Blade now, but clearly he's going to need to wait on buyback, or at the very least have Aegis. And that's going to be the next battle. Team Secret.
Oh, Puppy.
Oh, Jesus, Puppy. He's just been spotted. He does have the Ghost Scepter. That's only going to buy him a pittance of time as the spin comes in. And Puppy's just going to be run down, turns around, gets off the Ice Blast. Our Team Secret going to fight around that one. Doesn't look like it. They're just not in a good enough position.
Oh, this is awful for Secret. No Ice Blast to come for this one.
Which means the effectiveness of the healing wards, it's just unstoppable. Team Secret won't be able to go in.
Yeah, there's almost no way. They obviously do have Haunt, but Envy has only picked up a new Eagle song. I don't think they can slow down this. They can see them doing it, but they can't engage.
Maybe Misery can get some sort of Blink vacuum, but I'm seeing that as the only chances of success for Team Secret.
Okay. He's surging. He's gonna go for it.
There goes Eternal Envy. No, he doesn't steal it.
shuts down Misery, and now Eternal Levy, well, he's right in the middle of everything else, but his demons are just falling to the Omni Flash. Now take that Eternal Levy. Weeha's on the way out. He knew this was disaster from the word go. As soon as that Aegis got taken by Vici Gaming, it was no bueno for Secret, as they're going to start backing out. Weeha and Pylai will both survive. Unfortunately, the lanes are pushed out. Vici Gaming won't be able to immediately go for objectives.
And that was a buyback death from Eternal Envy that from the previous time he died, so he's dead for 100 seconds here. They still got the melee barracks, so maybe not the biggest loss. With Puppey dying on the mid lane.
That is a big time pickup.
That BKB that Ember Spirit got did so much work in that fight. Like, once the vacuum comes out, he just pops his BKB. He doesn't have to worry about magic damage. He just gets to focus. He doesn't have to worry about defensive aspects. And it really limits the damage that Spectre does as well. Spectre's not that much of a right-click hero. He needs him not to be magic immune for his damage to really matter.
Oh, they actually wanted to go on ice, but it's burning. Who's going to see Boots that travels in. Trying to catch up to Pylai. I thought the Omni Flash, but Ice does have a Ravage. They just surround Pylai and take away that gem.
One gem for each red Tidehunter eye, I guess. This is looking really bad for Secret. They're scaling so well. Jackie had to buy back, so he doesn't have his next item. Ags is up on Disruptor. Once they have Ravage, like, what do they do?
I was going to say it's going to be all about the buybacks, but Team Secret don't have any. They're just barely short on gold on some of their heroes like the Wind Ranger, and obviously the biggest one being Eternal Envy down in 3.5 minutes. Vici Gaming, the pipe does help protect them from that Ice Blast, as they're going to be able to take another lane of Rags. Team Secret will hold for a while though. They do still have that tier 2 up. Vici Gaming can't immediately go for Mega Creeps.
And they do have one of the best late game lineups, by all means. Spectre scales very, very well going into late game. His ultimate, he can be anywhere on the map and he can participate in the fight. So it allows him to basically sit in his base while his team looks for setups. So they do have some potential to still win this, but a 2 Rax disadvantage at this point is a little scary. They have gotten the one in the middle, but 2 Rax is so much more significant than 1.
Essentially, Vici Gaming, if they are holding on to buybacks, they just need one all-in play where they're able to take that last lane, Mega Creep spawn, and then it's pretty much near impossible for Secret to make the comeback. But we've seen crazier things, and from 2 top-tier teams like this, the game is never over until the throne explodes. Secret are mounting their defense now, keeping themselves rather spread. Juggernaut, Super's going to come in, and chain down 2. Immediately they're going to go for Puppey once again. Super pops his BKB. Eternal Levy is going to start going for Fenrir as the response, but a slowdown from the Shiva is going to prevent Eternal Levy from committing to that kill. Pipe in, as well as the Guardian Grease brings Fenrir back to full HP.
The Shackle.
It catches burning. They're going to go for this one, the Ice Blast, but no, the Ravage actually gets laid out. The Ice Blast is going to be able to go out in time, and now the heroes of Team Secret are just being surrounded, burning. He's looking to be able to lock down Eternal Levy, but he's getting away. FY similarly gets away from Pylai at the same time. Ice is down to half HP, but a Super is going to keep on going in. Eternal Levy pops his ultimate now. Needs as much damage as possible to be able to win this fight. Misery taken out with the Disruptor ultimate. Now Eternal Levy, he's perhaps too far forward. A missile bladed up. Does manage to get the kill on Super, but who cares? It's just the Aegis, but a Jackal Duck comes in. Way high, he's going for burning, but a cold embraces the response. And now Super's the one to blink back with line number 2 to catch Weehaw. And that is going to be an immediate buyback from Team Secret. They cannot afford to let this lane of Rax go. Vici Gaming, they're going to be able to take down this tier 3 tower. The TPs are coming in. Eternal Levy, the first one.
Can they get him?
And Super going down on round number 2. Eternal Levy's in the middle of everyone else going for Fenrir, trying to lock him down, but Glimmer K buys time. The Glimpse is able to get away. Those illusions going to try and chase down these supports, but it looks like Vici Gaming a very clean retreat, if they're only going to lose Super, and it looks like FY.
Oh man, that Shackle was so massive there to catch the Ember Spirit. If they didn't get that kill right there, the game just ends. The barracks were gonna fall. They get FY as well. A gem is picked up, so Secret is back into form basically. They lost another tower, they lost some heroes, but they held on.
And they will have buyback for this next fight. I think this is really key, because Team Secret, they've got the most effective buyback hero in the game in this Spectre.
Yeah.
They can actually force a fight on Vici Gaming side of the base, buy back, and still have the Spectre 2 times.
It's basically like having a free Aegis, except, you know, it costs you like 2,000 gold, and if you die again, puts you in a really big disadvantage. But will he do that or go straight Butterfly is the question, and he's thinking about it. He's going to buy the Talisman at least, so about 750 gold until he's ready to buy back. And by the time the fight happens, I think he's going to have that buyback money.
See, the reason I brought that point up is I really thought that Team Secret's best chance to actually win this game was to be the aggressors here, because I don't think they can survive another fight around their own base. But
Yeah.
Puppey is setting up some aggressive vision, so
He brought
perhaps
it.
even with the Butterfly being bought by Eternal Envy, they're still going to go for this one. The Shivas as well, complete for Misery. These are some big ticket items for Team Secret that may change the fortune of this next fight.
And the other issue with the Butterflies, he's had this Eagle song the whole time. Vici Gaming knows that he's gonna go Butterfly, and if you look at the money on the two heroes where it matters, Juggernaut as well as Ember Spirit, they could both basically be like, all right, I'll have one, I'll take one Monkey King bar, please. And the shopkeeper will be like, okay, thanks, here it is. And boom.
Butterfly immediately counters.
And that's a horrible place to be in, like for both of them. Like maybe he should have just bought the Butterfly right away. He didn't have the money before, but he's lost so much value from having this Butterfly. He gets like
free
4 armor.
pickoff on F. Whoa, never mind. A quick blink out before the damage actually hits on Cold Feet, and he's able to get away. Is it just not enough damage per tick?
It takes a second to set in. It looks like it's doing damage, but maybe it's a skill that should be scaled a little bit. But considering A's position right now, I think he doesn't need that buff.
There's the refresher now for Ice. Double pipes, double Shivas, and double Ravages being the most key thing.
They do have no wards on the map. Vici Gaming, that is. So Secret's going to be pretty happy with this one. And there they are in base. They know what's at stake. If they win the next fight, it's just looking really good for them. There's a refresher on Tide now, by the way. He is so farmed. 2 Ravages,
I'm losing track of time here. 54 minutes in. I'm wondering how deep into nighttime or daytime we're in, because right now it's darkness.
Yes, that is the ultimate. And we'll find out right now.
Because this could mean... I'm wondering whether it's going to be nighttime when Roshan comes up. All right, it's nighttime right now.
It'll be
We'll also
about a
have
minute,
darkness
2
coming in.
minutes. Basically, it'll be close. It might be up, might not be. But Pielight will have his ultimate ready at that point, so...
Well, basically, I'm looking at it, and it seems like every single advantage that Team Secret could have going into this next fight, with the recent items being bought, with potentially nighttime or darkness ready to go for Roshan, this will be the best position Team Secret has had to be able to stand up against Vici Gaming, win a team fight. And if they're able to take that Aegis cheese, this game just becomes a whole lot closer.
It's all going to come down to the initiation. Another really big thing is if they could do a bit of damage. If Spectre haunts first, for example, and Tide doesn't blink immediately, they could disable his Blink Dagger, which is going to limit his ability to Ravage. So they're just completely set up here. They're looking for the smoke. They popped the Night Stalker ultimate. So I think this is, depending on the timing, this could be really good for Vici Gaming.
They're going to wait things out. Holding on to the high ground right now, Team Secret have Pielight die in the front lines. Hoping to be able to scout out any vision. I see Vici Gaming rotating into that middle lane.
So many Blink Daggers. Does everybody on Vici Gaming have one? They actually do. That's 5 Blink Daggers, guys.
Initiation for Days Super. We'll take an Ice Blast here, but Team Secret not really set up to make the call just yet.
Well, now we know where they're going.
5-man smoke straight through the middle lane. They don't really care about Roshan. It's daytime, the time to strike is right now for Vici Gaming. They run into Misery, but he gets that quick blink away. But remember, Vici Gaming have several blinks of their own. If they're going to catch Misery, the BKB goes out. But that is still something expended from Team Secret that they didn't want to have to do before the actual team fight.
And immediately they're setting up Observer Wards. Now Nighttime comes up in 10 seconds with Pielight Eye's ultimate. So that was the little window they were going for, since Pielight Eye did use it early, and they're pinging on Roche. Will they get it in time, basically?
Aegis and Cheese, Darkness gets laid out. Eternal Envy's pushing out the bottom lane right now in order to get in position for this Roshan. Pielight Eye's going to see into the pit soon. And Roshan, he's a tanky bugger too.
They're playing for the vision. They got the Observer Ward. These creeps are following. So Vici Gaming knows the secret's coming.
The dagger is coming in, the Ice Blast as well. They need to get away from this Ice Blast. They help to be able to survive the fight. It hits on 2, and Roshan still in contention here.
Good, he's in a bad position.
Fenrir gets the first step away. Evo comes out from Ice. A couple of those heroes, they get a data
as proc. They're going to try and take out Pylon Dice. Well, Misery first. The Static Storm gets played out. The Control 2. And the Shackle Truck completely with Fenrir. Now getting the control into FY as well. He's going to be going down. It looks like it's Super is going to make the jump over. No, he wants that Eternal Envy first. He gets a small MKB hit, hoping to be able to stall him left. Fenrir does finally go down, burning as well as Super right on top of the Eternal Envy. But he does have that buyback, and he's going to need to expend it now. Trying desperately to win this fight. Weehaw comes in. Shackle Shot doesn't last. Bernie's just making his run away. Ravage number 2. It comes in, takes out Weehaw, and now it's just Eternal Envy left against the whole world, and it's not enough. Vici Gaming win the fight. Super might just very well go down to Puppy, but he dances himself away, and that's a wipe. Team Secret have lost 5 plus Eternal Envy times 2, and they are well on their way to do whatever the hell they want in this game.
2 buybacks. A is going to have ult in 15 seconds. Nothing to see from it just yet. They're going to try to scare them, make them think that they can contest this, but in reality...
You've got to make the play of your life here. Can it blink in time? Roshan time's just a bit too soon. The blink dagger wasn't up yet.
And now it's Aegis for Ice, Cheese for Super, and still another 80 seconds on the clock for Eternal Envy Spectre.
He just couldn't do that, honestly. That was his buyback. If he died there, game is over 100%, because they'd be dead for Wind Ranger for like 100 seconds. Spectre would still be dead another 80. They'd just gone up mid and throned it.
The respect from Vici Gaming, though, the fact that they're not immediately just going 5-man down mid, knowing that the Spectre does not have buyback and is down for so long, they're respecting the angle of the rest of Team Secret. If they get a really good vacuum, Ice Blast combination, there's still enough damage to threaten Vici Gaming.
Yeah, and not just that, they don't have Ravage or Refresher for up to 70 to 90 seconds, depending if you want both. They wait, they get those abilities, and then they fight. They don't want to throw this fight.
Jump in, Ice, the first to show himself in the Team Secret base. Takes a small swipe at that range rack, and this is all they need. 30 seconds left until the Spectre is back up. Vici Gaming all about the objectives right now. Weehaw makes his jump in, immediately changed up. The response is there from Vici Gaming. They're going to try and lock down Weehaw, force out the BKB. Jumps around Puppy, immediately target from Super. Doesn't have enough damage, so only forces out the Ghost Scepter.
The Glyph is up, but the Barracks is going down. They need to kill somebody right now, but Ice is just going to try to go. He's taunting them.
Oh, wow, the Ice Blast is going to come in. Weehaw now has to match up against Ice. The Ice Blast lands. Misery's going to be able to take out the Ember Spirit. That's a start. Team Secret, they're holding up against Mega Creeps. They need many kills here against Vici Gaming, but Misery, he's not going to have his opportunity to pursue. Eternal Envy will. Where is he going to be going in this one? Looks like he's going to try and take down Fenrir first, and it looks like the Juggernaut will be able to get himself away. And it's just going to be the support. Turn around, Winter's Curse. Eternal Envy, he's not going to be able to get that much. It looks like Fenrir, he's got to blink up. He's out. Vici Gaming get Mega Creeps, and they're actually going to be able to get away with almost everybody.
All right, this is pretty much one of their last chances. I mean, they can delay this for a very long time due to having Radiance and the Heart on Spectre. He basically can't die to just creeps. Ice
Swimming away
man.
in style, Ice. He feels it. He feels like this game is in the bag. But Team Secret, they still have one response left.
The YOLO play.
Go straight into the enemy base and get a pick off if you can, and that'll be Fenrir.
All right.
A cheeky play, Eternal Envy. He says, go for it, man. We've got the double damage on Weehaw. We need to try and somehow force a fight, and that's threatening the tier 4s, but they're just doing not enough damage.
Are they going to win this game? Ember has buyback, but the other 2 heroes are dead for their duration. Envy shifting over. He wants to buy something to help him go for it. Oh, he sees some gems. There's a cheese. He gets the cheese.
What? Eternal Envy. Hello. Taking the tier 4 tower up next, and they're going to focus on the second one. The Glyph is going to go down. They're losing up against Mega Creeps, pushing in through the side lanes, and it looks like Team Secret deem it's not worth the attempt. The Glyph has forced them back, and that tier 4 tower is now going to heal back up the full HP off the backdoor protection. Looking for that glimpse. They also have the boots to travel in from Super. He has his blink dagger forward, hoping to be able to get a sleight of his chain. Assault or retreat, Shackle Shot, turn around. Can they actually control? He's gonna die. He goes down, but he has buyback. He's gonna jump back in. He knew he was gonna die, and he welcomes death at this point because Vici Gaming are going all the way. They'll take out 3 of Secret, and Secret will finally appease Vici Gaming's bloodlust. They call it GG. Game number 1 goes to the Chinese Vici Gaming.
What an upset. I mean, they were very close teams in the recent match, and then it was 3-2 with Secret's advantage, so Vici Gaming can take this, but there was a period of time where it just looked like Secret had won the game. But a couple great fights out of Vici Gaming and forcing a lot of buybacks. Secret got ahead.